guys, it's PonkyPlays. Welcome to our Raid Shadow Legends video. So today I'm going to be going over Cillian's kit and saying my take on what a buff would look like on him and what I think would be, something pretty exciting for his kit. Cillian is interesting. His kit is not too terrible, but it's also still kind of simple. I think he's gotten a buff at least once. I know for sure for one. I don't know if he's gotten like 2 buffs by now, but I definitely feel like he could use another touch-up. But let's just really quickly go through his kit as it is right now. So his A1 attacks an enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 35 going up to a 50% chance of placing 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns, and each hit also has a 50% chance when booked of stealing 30% of the target's current turn meter. Honestly, not a horrible A1. There's a chance that he might not land either, but a 50-50 and either decrease speed or stealing turn meter, and that's a pretty decent turn meter steal. It's not that bad of an A1. His A2 is an AoE attack, has an 85 going up to 100% chance of placing block active skills debuffs for 2 turns, and that is on a 4-turn cooldown when maxed. It's okay, but it's definitely one of the less exciting block active skills with all of the buffs and all the new champions that have come out. And then his A3 attacks 1 enemy, has a 100% chance when booked of placing a stun for 2 turns and stealing 50% of the target's current turn meter, and then resets the cooldown of this skill if the target is skilled. I believe Cillian can hit pretty hard with all his skills, and this is okay. A 2-turn stun is definitely not bad, but I definitely do feel like this skill still could use a little bit more love. But I definitely do enjoy his passive. Charmed Life places 2 of the following buffs on this champion for 2 turns at the start of each turn. Either a 50% increased attack, a 30% increased crit damage, a 30% increased crit rate, a 25% strengthen, a block damage buff, or a 50% increased accuracy buff. Honestly, all but maybe the increased crit rate buff are super great. If you're not building Cillian with 100% crit rate, then that also becomes pretty nice as well. But because I'm pretty sure he can hit pretty decently, I would just build him with 100% crit rate, because you're never going to be able to rely on this landing since it's random. But all the other buffs are great, especially when you get lucky and get the block damage. Really nice. So definitely love that part of his kit the most, I think. And then he's got an aura for ally attacks in all battles by 25%. I'm surprised that they didn't touch the aura the last time they gave him a buff, because that's a pretty low attack aura. But I mean, at least it's something now. So right now his reviews, his ratings aren't that great. So let's go ahead and go into what I would do if I was to give him a buff. So for his A1, I said, attacks an enemy 2 times. Each hit will either place a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns or steal 30% of the target's current turn meter. And then when booked, each hit has a 50% chance to have both effects take place. So with each hit, he's gonna have one of the 2, abilities land. But then there's a 50% chance that he'll have them both trigger. So then he's always guaranteed that something's gonna happen. And again, because he's Cillian the Lucky, if you get lucky, you'll have both, which is pretty nice, because being able to get a 60% turn meter steal on an A1 is kind of nutty. Then his A2, I went ahead and said, attacks all enemies still, steals 1 random buff from each target and replaces it with the opposite debuff. If you have looked at his lore at all, he is so I guess he was kind of a normal person, but then he found this mystical Fae turtle. I'm pretty sure he was supposed to be a Sylvan Watcher, and he was able to be granted, I guess, the wish of being lucky. But basically the way it works is that he's siphoning the luck out of everybody around him. So he gets lucky, but everybody around him has extra bad luck. So I guess that's kind of what this is alluding to, inflict misfortune. So I figured it makes sense for this to steal some of the enemy's buffs. So one random buff from each target and replaces it with the opposite debuff. And then we'll place an unblockable and feeble debuff on the target on targets that did not have a buff stolen. So he'll still need accuracy for it, but it's unblockable. And then also has a 100% chance of placing block active skills debuffs for 2 turns. So we'll still do the block active skills, and I changed it from a 5 turn to a 4 turn, so then you can book it down to a 3 turn. I was looking and it's surprising, but the majority of block active skills champion anymore are on a 3 turn cooldown, which kind of was unheard of before, but yeah. So because that's kind of where the normal is going to, I figured he should go to a 3 turn cooldown when booked as well. And then for his A3, it's almost staying very similar. There's slight changes though still. So attacks an enemy, has a 100% chance of placing a stun debuff for 2 turns, and then I said stealing 100% of the target's current turn meter, and then as well as placing their skills on cooldown. I feel like Headringer, you're kind of just completely putting them out of the game, so stunning them for 2 turns, fully resetting that target's skills cooldowns, and stealing all of their turn meter sounds pretty nice. And it's not an AoE skill, so I don't think it sounds like a crazy broken skill. It's not anything more broken or even worse than, Armas's AoE full turn meter steal and stun. But I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if you guys think that's too powerful. And then still resets the cooldown of this skill if the target is killed. And then for his passive, I left it mostly the same, except I added one little bit. He will also, at the start of his turn, transfer a random debuff from this champion to a random enemy. So he'll be doing a very small cleanse on himself, putting that debuff on the enemy, kind of, again, playing with the whole fact that he's siphoning the luck from everybody around him. And then he'll place the 2 buffs on himself. So, if he does have block debuffs or block buffs debuff on himself, then he's capable of potentially getting rid of that at the start of his turn and then being able to put the 2 buffs. So pretty nice. And then I went ahead and for his aura, I switched it to a 33% in all battles, because that's the the strong side of the attack auras, and I feel like everybody should have, if they're gonna have an aura, if they're the same rarity, it should be at the same level. So 32% in all battles. Not too bad. Let me know what you guys think of the buff I guess gave Cillian. I think it sounds pretty exciting. I'm hoping it's nothing too broken. I don't think it's anything crazy, but it definitely makes him do his kit a lot better and still have like that kind of fun unpredictability with his buff placements and having a chance to do both of the things, but at least landing one per hit, being able to steal some buffs and put the opposite effect on enemies. I think sounds pretty fun. I don't know, I think it would make him still a really fun champion, but a lot better at what he does. Let me know what you guys think though, and let me know if you guys want me to do any specific champion next, but if not, I'll go ahead and just continue moving on through the Banner Lords. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and until the next video, guys, take care.